Hello and welcome to the 15th annual Josh Ryan Melbourne Cup Sweep. That's right, we're back again for the 15th year of the sweep. The fact that we're here for 15 years is quite remarkable. This really started for me back in 2011. I was in grade 7. I was told my class wouldn't be doing a Melbourne Cup Sweep. 12-year-old me, was devastated because a sweep and Melbourne Cup is something that I love, I adore. And so I took it upon myself to create my own sweep. And at that point, it was just with mum, dad, my grandparents and my sister. So there were only 6 of us in the sweep at the time. And I think if I remember correctly, the first prize was an old Easter egg, an old Lindt chocolate Easter egg. That one was won by my dad, Gerard Ryan. And ever since then, I made a conscious decision to keep it going and go through with it every single year. We've kept going, and it's grown over the years, and I opened it up to everyone in 2020 for the 10th year of the sweep. So it became open to, rather than just family, more people, friends, colleagues, everyone got involved, and the scope of the event expanded significantly. What we've now reached, we're now at the 15th year, which is quite simply incredible to me, and especially when I look at some of the numbers for this year, it's remarkable. We've got more numbers than ever before, there's more people than ever before, there's new people, a lot of old returning people are back, there's a few new people as well, so welcome if this is your first time in the Melbourne Cup Sweep. Most impressively for me, and I'm very surprised about, is just the sheer volume. So this year, I'm running 4 sweeps, so we've got a $15 sweep, a $10 sweep, and then 2 $5 sweeps. Now, what that means is that in the main Melbourne Cup sweep, everyone gets 1 entry. So that sweep has 4 prizes. So you've got your first prize, which is $180 cash, second prize is $120, and third prize is $60. And last prize you get a lollipop because your horse sucks. But that's not all. If you win the main sweep, you also get a nice complimentary gift box, which I'll show you over previously in another post that'll come up. But you get a nice complimentary gift box. You get a Melbourne Cup Sweep badge, the actual one from Flemington themselves. Plus, you also got a 15th annual Josh Ryan Melbourne Cup Sweep champion badge. And alongside that, you'll also receive a hat, which has our Melbourne Cup Sweep logo here on my shirt. And on the back, it's also got 2025 champion on there. So a bunch of cool goodies there as well. And of course, you get a very cool little crystal sweep medal. So there's plenty of goodies here. This is one of the most incredible sweeps I think you might find, so hopefully you enjoy it. But what happened, so 15 years ago in the sweep was the 2011 Melbourne Cup. Now that was an historic Melbourne Cup. It was won by Dunedin over Red Cadeau by the most incredible distance of 3 millimetres. Just 1 pixel separated the 2 horses at the end of 2 gruelling miles. It was truly an incredible race. Dunedin and Red Cadeau fighting each other down the straight. But it was Dunedin who came out successful. Dunedin went on, had another couple of races before retiring to stud, whereas Red Cadeau became somewhat of a folk hero of the Melbourne Cup, some might say, finishing 8th the next year to Fiorente in 2012, and then 8th next year, to Green Moon in 2012, and then running up back-to-back runners-up behind Fiorente and Protectionist in 2013 and 2014. Red Cadeau took on the race again in 2015, but unfortunately finished last at the end of the tail and broke down just at the finishing post, and unfortunately that was after a few months of intensive vet work. Red Cadeau couldn't be saved, unfortunately. But Red Cadeau lies at Flemington, and the spirit remains there. But 2015, 10 years ago, in the 5th annual Josh Ryan Melbourne Cup Sweep, we saw an incredible result where it was actually Gerard Ryan took all the sweeps, because we just had 1 sweep back then, and he took all 4 sweeps, first, second, third, and last. And that year is best known for Michelle Payne aboard Prince of Penzance, 150 to 1 shot. Incredible win. No one would have seen it possible, and Michelle Payne became the first ever female jockey to win the Melbourne Cup. There's a few more jockeys this year going for it, so such as Jamie Mellum, who's aboard the favourite Half Yours, and then also Celine Gaudray aboard Torresino. So will one of those go and make it the second? Potentially. Last year we saw an incredible result when Knight's Choice came in and won the race. No one would have thought where it was. It was nearly last on the turn and came storming home to win a race that no one would have predicted. Knight's Choice. It didn't have much great form, didn't tick any box of a Melbourne Cup winner, but somehow produced its best on the day to narrowly beat home Warp Speed in second. And if you were aboard Knight's Choice last year, you had a very good day, because Knight's Choice was paying about 100 to 1 to win the comp. Now, what we've got here, I've already put up the sweep results, so we'll get into the sweeps now. So we'll start with the main sweep, then we'll run through the secondary sweep, and then the tertiary sweep. So the main sweep, I'll pop it up now. You can see the sweep results.